Okay, before we was learning about the Almighty speaking over Eve and told her that she would begin to conceive children after she had eaten of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But you also remember that it says that the Almighty will cause enmity or war between the seed of Satan and the seed of Eve. We know the Almighty spoke over Eve and said that she would conceive children, but never at any time does he command Satan to do anything to bring forth seed. But right here is where it begins, and Satan begins to have seed. Now it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, that the daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves, for all whom they chose. Now, what that's talking about is the fallen angels or messengers took it upon themselves to take wives. You read it right there. The sons of God is referring to all the angels, the 200 angels. Now, all angels are created male. There's no such thing as a female angel. This is why when these 200 male angels were kicked out of heaven because they were trying to go with Semjaza, that's Lucifer's real name, Semjaza, and overthrow the Almighty. And of course they were kicked out down to the earth. They came like a ball of fire. And it says right here, they began to look upon the daughters of men and saw how beautiful they were, and they took upon themselves to take wives and have what? Children, seed. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Now, that 120 years, that's if you live according to the commandments and ordinances of the Almighty. We both know that the Bible also says that sin brings forth death. So, there you go. Okay, let's read a little bit more. There were giants on the earth in those days, also afterward. Now, when it says afterward, it means before the flood and after the flood there were giants. But the Almighty drowned as many of the hybrid children as he could with the flood. So that's what you got going on right there. That's why he had to destroy the earth, because of the hybrid children of the devil. Now, we're going to learn what happened to the children that drowned and all the giants that were killed, and what came about as a result of Satan and all the other angels, the 200 angels, Satan being among one of those, sleeping with the daughters of men. They gave birth to hybrid children. Their children were both human flesh and angel. They were part messenger angels. So they were supernatural. They weren't just flesh, blood, and bones. They were also eternal spirit. Because the angels are spirit. But angels also have the ability to make themselves visible and invisible. We're going to learn about that too. But there you go. There's the beginning of the war between the seed of Eve and the seed of Satan. Okay, let's go over to the next page. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Now, right there where it says that he saw the wickedness of man. Now that word wickedness, that's referring to like a candle wick that's wicked together or wound together. That's talking about the seed of Satan, the fallen angels, and the daughters of men being wicked together and causing evil upon the earth. Because we both know that Satan is evil, and all the angels that fell with him are evil, and they are full of darkness and evil. And so when they laid with the daughters of men, they gave birth to evil. Evil men. So the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping things, birds of the air. I am sorry that I have made him. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. This is the genealogies of Noah. Now, when we start talking about here about Noah, Noah's seed was not corrupt. He was not wicked. None of his seed, him nor his wife, nor his sons, nor their wives, had corrupted themselves with the fallen angels. So their blood was pure. They were still of the creation of the Almighty. And they had not become wicked together with the devil. Now, I don't know if all of you have heard this, or studied this, or even heard about this, but that is what happened. You got the seed of Satan, and the seed of the Almighty, whom is Eve, who were made in the image of Jehovah God. See, it says, and Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And they had wives, and then Noah had his wife. Then the Almighty instructed Noah to build an ark. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. Now it says corrupted their way, that means they'd corrupted their blood. They was no longer creations of the Almighty, but they had also become hybrids as a result of laying with the fallen angels. Now, it took Noah 300 years to build that ark. And in those 300 years, those fallen angels continued to have children. And their children had sex with regular men and corrupted their seed. The only one that the Almighty reached his hand down to save was Noah, his sons, their wives, and his wife, and the animals that he was told to bring upon the ark. Okay, that's the lesson for today. Go and read that. Learn a little bit on it. And it is Genesis, right there, chapter 6, and read about that. Read all of chapter 6. That's where we're going to start up at. And we're also going to read out of the book of Enoch, because that gives you a little bit more detail on the story of Satan and the other fallen angels having sex with the daughters of men. I appreciate all y'all watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.